In a shocking new discovery, scientists have revealed that the Sahara, the largest desert in the world, is turning green. The discovery has rattled the scientific world as it's a once-in-a-lifetime transformation. However, the real highlight of this event isn't the green grasses that are popping up every day in the desert, but the mystery behind it. There are shocking truths and conspiracy theories about why this transformation is actually happening now, as well as crazy predictions on how this will change our world. Stay tuned as we explore this unusual natural phenomenon. The Sahara Desert is the world's largest hot desert, with a span across 11 countries. From the scorching heat to the dry sands that seem to never end, this desert has always been regarded as one of the most treacherous places on Earth. Getting lost in this vast wilderness is very easy, even with a compass. Plus, there are usually massive sandstorms that kill and destroy anything in their paths, burying it all under heaps of sand. But all this is about to change, as the Sahara Desert has been discovered to be doing something strange, something it has never done before. The mightiest desert on Earth just started turning green. And we're not just talking about a small portion. All of the Sahara is turning green as the rainforests of the Amazon. This discovery was first made by NASA scientists, as satellite images of the Sahara from space no longer showed a brown patch of arid land, but rather a greenish patch of land. It's mind-boggling to say the least, as no one would have expected such a dramatic change to happen. But here's the kicker. The change is happening very fast. The crazy rate at which the Sahara is transforming has raised a major alarm in the scientific community, and folks are now seeking answers. For scientists, the lush green vegetation that's popping up over the Sahara is another effect and sign of climate change. However, there are some people who think otherwise. In fact, there are many conspiracy theories that have been generated in a bid to explain this shocking scenario. For one, there's the question of aliens. The Sahara Desert has always had some sort of mystery behind it, especially due to the several mind-boggling things that have been uncovered beneath these sands. One such discovery is the famous Eye of the Sahara. Plus, a major part of the scientific community believes that there are tons of artifacts, human remains, and lost civilizations buried under the endless sands of the Sahara Desert. Who knows, perhaps remains of an alien civilization may be among this lot. Could it be that these traces of extraterrestrials may be the reason for the dramatic change occurring in the Sahara? Another theory scientists have come up with is that the recent change is part of a cycle that has always been consistent with the desert. You see, it is believed that the Sahara once supported tons of biolife and was, in fact, a rainforest. The remains that have been found here over the years seem to support this theory, as too many things have been found buried under the sands of the Sahara that should ideally belong in a rainforest environment. And so, many experts believe that many thousand years ago, the Sahara must have been a lush landscape with forests, rivers, and everything else you find in wet regions. However, these experts failed to predict exactly when this was the case or what exactly led to the transformation. And so, it's still not enough evidence to support the epic changes we're witnessing today in the desert. However, amid all these speculations, one theory stands as the most disturbing of all. This theory isn't just troubling because of the fact that it has tangible facts to back it up, but the fact that it predicts an even greater doom on all humanity. What if I told you that the current state of the Sahara Desert was already predetermined? What if I told you it was already foretold? What if I told you that the Sahara coming back to life is just another end-time prophecy coming true? I'm sure you're already familiar with talks about a supposed end of the world, a doomsday that'll lead to the destruction of all mankind, except for those who are saints. Well, just in case you thought all that was bullshit, it isn't. You see, a very recent event also happened that made many unbelievers begin to believe once more in these end-time prophecies. This event was the drying up of the river Euphrates. The Euphrates River, a phenomenal body of water that has served humanity for centuries, recently dried up, leaving arid land in place of a lush body of water. The scenario shocked scientists initially, and no one could come up with an exact reason why the river was drying. The only excuse science could offer was still the same old climate change mumbo-jumbo. But then researchers managed to dig up the truth that this event has been prophesied of long, long ago. In the Bible, the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 12, reads, "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared." This prophecy unraveled right before our eyes in 2023 as the Euphrates slowly began drying up, revealing patches of dry ground instead of a riverbed. But then the Euphrates dry up was a sign of an even greater doom, as the scriptures tell that the fallen angels that have been chained beneath it for thousands of years will be released. There's no telling the amount of chaos and destruction that these angels would do, but if we were to once again refer to the Holy Book of Christians, it's prophesied to be quite horrible. According to the book of Revelations, chapter 9, verse 14, "Release the four angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates. And the four angels were loosed, who had been prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year to slay a third part of men." Bible scholars have long theorized that these angels aren't the shiny beings in white you see on TV. They're in fact fallen angels, beasts who hate humanity to the core and would unleash total annihilation on the world. So much so that 1/3 of humanity would perish. But you might be wondering, how does all this relate to the Sahara Desert turning green? Well, it turns out that this same religious book, the Christian Bible, had long predicted the current fate of the Sahara Desert. The Bible had mentioned that the desert will in fact become a very fertile land, lush with vegetation and very much like a wetland. But here's the thing, this fate isn't just prophesied for the Sahara Desert alone, but in fact for all deserts around the world. Isaiah 35 verse 1-3, "Even the wilderness and desert will rejoice in those days. The desert will blossom with flowers." Yes, there will be an abundance of flowers and singing and joy. The deserts will become as green as the Lebanon mountains, as lovely as Mount Carmel's pastures and Sharon's meadows. It's both tantalizing and disturbing at the same time if you ponder on this Bible passage, as it means that certain parts of the world we now consider to be very lush and fertile will end up dry and barren. For instance, places like the Amazon rainforest, the most massive rainforest in the world, may end up becoming like the Sahara Desert in the near future. Meanwhile, our dear old Sahara may just be the Amazon of the future. No one knows how long this transition would take, but going by the current rate at which grasses are growing in the Sahara, it's safe to say it could happen in just a few years. Already statistics have begun to show that certain parts of the world that used to receive heavy rainfall are now receiving less rainfall. Meanwhile, those regions that received very little rainfall, like the Sahara, are now receiving very abundant rainfall. Is this all a coincidence, or is it a physical manifestation of a spiritual prophecy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Bye for now.